Our buddy Tommy in Braintree is up next year on Boston Sports Live with Matt Kalman and Mike Felger here, each coming from our palatial offices at our home estates. Tommy's going to come to us from his palatial establishment in Braintree, Massachusetts. Tommy, what do you got?
How's it going, guys? I know you're just talking about what would you give up to get Ryan McDonagh, and Matt, I know you're a big proponent of that idea, but if the rumors are true that the Rangers are sticking to, they want DeBrusk for a deal from Ryan McDonagh, I don't see how without taking 2 players off this roster, and that's something you just said you don't want to do. You'd have to give up DeBrusk to get a defenseman, but then you have, 10 NHL defensemen? So, okay, you waive Paul Postma, but then you still have 9. I don't really just see how they get McDonagh without creating a bigger hole on that second line and just having too many defensemen in the mix at this point.
Tommy, thanks for the call. Matt, your thought on that. You said no DeBrusk for Ryan McDonagh. What if it were Heinen? What if it were Heinen in the first?
Yeah, Heinen is kind of tough to part with, but I would be more apt to do it. But like he said, it would be then a logjam of defense, so you probably want to try to expand the deal to maybe get a defenseman into that deal to go back to New York. I mean, obviously they're going to want a defenseman too, and what they're giving up.
So look, I'm not worried about the logjam at D. What does that mean? That Adam McQuaid's an odd man out, or Kevin Miller, who's a nice player, would be an odd man out? And I think we can live with all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't consider it to be a logjam. To me, Ryan McDonagh is an amazing fit for your top 4. Just a perfect fit for your top 4.
Sure.
So to me, I'm not worried about having too many 5th, 6th defensemen. You get rid of those guys. Don't fall in love with those guys.
Right.
The question is how much, you're finally building something here. It's hitting. It's working. Yeah. How much of that do you want to give up when it seems to be going in the right direction anyway? That's really the question.
Yeah, well, you have to just make sure. We know it doesn't always translate. I mean, I have so many people telling me that they're the best defensive team in the league. Why do you want to add defense? But we know that doesn't translate to the postseason. It's a different world. Like I said, you're facing the same team every night. You're facing the best of the best. You need to have depth. And so, again, yeah, I mean, do you want to mess up what's going on here? Well, the fact is, yes, you want to make sure you have the best team for this spring because you never know when you're going to have this opportunity again. Teams are going to rebound. Teams are going to get better. So many things have clicked for this team that you want to strike here. And maybe, if you have to part with something that maybe you'll look bad 3 years down the road. Maybe Danton Heinen does go somewhere and become a perennial 30-goal scorer. But did you win the cup this year? Did you give it your best shot?